Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's a little bit different. We didn't really take any trades today. Bank holiday and everything, I really just didn't feel comfortable taking any trades. Figured I'd rather just preserve capital and whatnot. So as you guys can tell by the title, today's going to be a little bit different. I wanted to make a video basically kind of like a blueprint for what I'm actually trying to do. Rather than just saying I'm trying to become profitable, I'm trying to make some money, I wanted to actually put out there like a kind of a blueprint for what my goal is and what I'm actually trying to achieve and how I'm going to go about achieving it. So I put together a PowerPoint presentation, which was kind of difficult, but I am kind of proud of it, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So yeah, I'll just let you guys get into it. Hope you guys enjoy. Peace. Okay, so now that we got the PowerPoint presentation pulled up, like I said, I spent a lot of time on this. I'm really proud of it. I hope you guys like it. But anyways, so this is basically the idea. A goal without a plan is simply a wish. For each of our goals within trading, we have to have a plan to achieve each of them. Trading just to trade will not get us anywhere within our trading. Assuming you have bigger goals than just achieving profitability, you have to actually give yourself a roadmap to achieving those goals. Anybody with anything will tell you, if you have a plan, if you have a goal, you have to have a plan. Just saying, I want to do this, does not get you anywhere, because you will be complacent and you will really not do anything to actually achieve that. So because of that, I thought up a plan, and I really realized that if I'm actually going to try and achieve some of my goals within trading, specifically hitting certain dollar amounts per month, for me right now it's $10,000 a month, I actually have to have a plan to do so. I can't just dilly-dally and kind of just roll around and trade and just hope that one day I hit it, when realistically I actually have to have a plan. So yeah, that's what the concept of this is, and I just wanted to present this to you guys and just show you guys my ideas and how I plan to achieve it. So yeah. Okay, also, sorry, I know the webcam is going to be bouncing. I did not make this presentation with the idea of my webcam in mind, so the webcam is low-key going to be bouncing around the screen, but bear with me. Anyways, so first of all, what are we trying to accomplish? I really didn't put specific goals in this slide. I just kind of wanted to give you guys a bare idea. So first of all, profitability. I feel like every trader, you have to achieve profitability. That's kind of the main goal of every trader, is just to be profitable. The second goal is freedom. When I say freedom, I mean being able to just rely on trading specifically, not having to do anything else other than trading, without me choosing to do so. I feel like that's a big plus, not really having to worry about anything else other than just trading, because I feel like once you get to that level, you're locked in. You really don't have to do anything else other than trade, and you can just focus on whatever you want to do, whether it's making videos for people, whether it's making other types of videos, trading videos, helping others, anything. Freedom is a big thing that comes with trading, and that is one thing I'm certainly shooting for. The third thing, and the final thing, is scaling. I'm trying to accomplish the ability to scale my trading business. I would love to be able to go from a certain dollar amount to another dollar amount, and that's basically what I mean. I just want the skill of being able to scale my trading, being able to take it from level 1 to level 100 kind of thing, from taking it to 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000, etc. So how do we go about accomplishing each of these goals? Okay, so this is a bit more in-depth. This is I know this is a lot, but just bear with me. So my strategy to achieve these goals, I'm calling it the Power of 7 strategy, okay? For one, this is not my idea. I did not come up with this. I'm not claiming that I did. I actually saw this on Instagram Reels, and this is kind of what sparked my idea for this video, because I figured, man, this guy has an idea. I don't know if he came up with it, but he's the one that presented it. I'll have a link to his Instagram in the bio if you guys want to go check him out. So yeah, once again, this is not my idea. I gave it this little corny name, the Power of 7 strategy. That's my goofy name for it, but not my idea. Two things I want you to notice first. I guess there's three. I didn't mention the third. First one, we're using Alpha Futures. If that wasn't already obvious, that's the account that I already have a funded account on. So we're gonna be sticking to them, going by their rules, looking at their payout rules and whatnot. Second thing, Alpha Futures has a 5 winning day minimum for payouts. This means you have to get 5 winning days before you can request a payout. I cannot just request a payout just because I made a couple dollars. I have to get 5 winning days of $200. I think most of you guys know this, but I figured I'd just put it in here anyways, just to make it clear. Okay, third and finally, the goal is to get fully allocated, as to not blow an account when taking a payout. I think most of you guys know this, but if you take a payout with Alpha Futures, let's say your drawdown when you open the account, get the qualified account, is $2,000. If you make $2,000 and you take a payout for $1,500, you are only going to have $500 as a buffer for when you start trading on that account again. your drawdown is directly correlated to what you take out on a payout, okay? When you start the account, you have $2,000. So to get fully allocated, we have to achieve two things. First, we have to replace our drawdown so that when we take a payout, we still have $2,000 worth of drawdown, okay? Second, we have to get a max allocation payout, meaning we are taking as much from Alpha Futures as we can possibly get in one payout. To do that on a 50K zero account is $3,500. So the goal is $3,500. This means we can take a max allocation payout, $1,500, and we can also ensure that when we start trading on the account again, we will have still $2,000 worth of drawdown to trade with. So now that we have those three things prefaced, what is this little strategy that I'm using? The power of 7 strategy is based off of the idea that your risk should be whatever your drawdown is, but divided by 7. So for example, if your drawdown is 2,100, your risk should be 300. It increases with every win and it decreases with every loss, but it is directly correlated to your drawdown. And once again, like I said, this was not my idea, and I also understand power of 7. It's totally different than division. I get it. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense. But whatever. Let me have my little name for it. But that's the concept. So over here on the right, I have an example for how it would look like if we were going to, get a max allocation on Alpha Futures. So like I said, you just divide whatever your drawdown is by 7. So my drawdown would be, right now it's not this, but on a new account it would be 2,000. So you divide 2,000 by 7, and then you get 285. So that means that on your next trade, your first trade of the account, you're going to be risking $285 to $300. I understand it's basically impossible to get a perfect risk amount because you can't do 0.21 micros or whatever. You have to you kind of have to round here and there. So it doesn't have to be perfect. This is just for a rough estimate so that if you're trying to risk around 300, you just go buy 6 contracts and risk 8. Just kind of basic, kind of a rounded off kind of thing. So let's say you win that, and once again, this is also assuming that all these trades that we're taking are 1-to-1, which my trades are a little bit higher than 1-to-1. So I don't often take 1-to-1s, or either 1-to-1 or 1.5, 1.3, somewhere around there. But we're just, for the sake of example, all of them are going to be 1-to-1. So let's say that you won that trade. It's going to be 285. Okay, then you're going to go up to 2,285 divided by 7. Okay, so now that's your drawdown, and then you're going to divide it by 7. Now you have 325, meaning on the next trade, you're going to try and risk about $40 more. Okay, once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just get as close as you can. So then, assuming you win that one, you'll move up to 2,610. And I low-key just missed the arrow here. I don't know why the arrow's not there, but whatever. It is what it is. So 2,610 divided by 7, that's going to give you 372. So now you're going to add another about $50 worth of risk, and you're going to be risking 372. Okay, let's say you win this one. Again, this is just going to assume we win all of these trades, and then I'll kind of explain what happens if you lose. So if you win that one, you'll go up to 2982, and then you'll risk 427 or 426. Again, rough estimate. Let's say you win that one, you'll go up to 3408, and then you can risk about 500 to get 3,900, which would be a max allocation payout with roughly $2,300 worth of drawdown afterwards. Okay, assuming you lose, okay, once again, it decreases with every loss. So let me pull out my calculator real quick. Got my calculator here. Let's say that you win the first trade. Okay, so then you go up to 2,285. All right, 2,285. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to assume we lose the trade. Okay, so what is it? 325? Okay, so assuming we lose this trade, okay, that's going to give us 1960. All right, you guys see that? So what that means is that on our next trade, we're going to take it, we're going to divide by 7. Got it? Oh, whoops, wrong button. Which means on our next trade, we're only going to risk 280. Okay? So the reason we do this is because statistically, if your win percentage is 50-50, and Diego explains this in his video on Instagram, it's almost statistically impossible for you to lose 7 trades in a row. It makes no sense statistically for you to do that. I mean, that is if your trading strategy is actually 50% and emotions are not involved. So the reasoning behind it is that it is statistically extremely hard to blow your account doing this, which is perfect for a funded account, okay? So assuming you are always risking whatever your drawdown is divided by 7, it is going to be very difficult to blow the account. But in so doing, if your win percentage is well above 50%, it's going to be much easier to actually achieve that max allocation payout rather than just sticking to $200, $200. Because the way I was trading was good, and I don't fault myself for trading that way. I've never done this before, but realistically, I was thinking about it. If I'm risking $200 and making $200, and I win 5 times and lose once, that's only $800 payout, which is good. But that also means that I'm only realistically actually going to be able to trade with $1,200 drawdown next time I want to try and get a payout. So this way, I'm getting max allocation payouts. Statistically, it's going to be very hard for me to blow my account. And it's also going to enable me to be able to continue using this account well after getting that first payout, right? So after we get the first payout, then we'll still have $2,000 drawdown, and then we can add another account, do it again. Those will both still have $2,000 drawdown, and then do it again. Those will both still have $2,000 drawdown, and then we can rinse and repeat until we can get more and more and more and more accounts. And eventually, obviously, the goal is to have 30 accounts or so with Apex, Alpha, Tradeify, MyFunded Futures, whatever, and being able to get those base hit plays to, just make a lot of money, with low risk. But at the moment, this is the goal. So moving on to the final slide. This is only alpha futures though. So once we have 350K zero accounts, consistently getting max allocation payouts, we will phase them out one at a time and replace them with 100K accounts. Basically what this means is every single time, once we get to 350K accounts, because you can only have 3 50K zero accounts. I don't know if I said this on here anywhere, but you can only have 3. So once we get 350K accounts and we can get a payout with all of them, max allocation, we're going to try and phase them out one at a time, maybe 2 at a time, maybe all 3 at a time. I don't know yet, but we're going to try and phase them out and replace them with 100Ks. The goal with doing this is because once we can phase them out with 3 100Ks, we will be able to get rather than a $3,500 payout, we'll be able to get a $9,000 payout. So with just one payout on all 50Ks once per month, we're getting at least $3,500. So this is assuming we can only get one max allocation payout per month, which is extremely which is extremely conservative. So there's about 20 trading days in the month, assuming there's no bank holidays. So let's say it takes just 7 days to get this, or even 8, or even 9. That still allows us to potentially get 2 max allocation payouts in a month. So if we can do that twice on 350Ks, we're looking at $7,000, which is, in my opinion, really good. But if we could phase all of those out, by phasing out 50Ks, one 50K at a time, we can work our way up to 3 100K accounts. With max allocation on each 100K account, we can expect $9,000 from all accounts with max allocation, which only leaves us with $1,000 more per month to make. Now, once again, this is assuming we can only get one max allocation payout, which gives us about 20 trading days to do so. In my mind, I think it's a little bit more feasible that we will probably be able to get 2. I don't know. I don't have much experience trading. I only started in August of last year, so I may be sincerely wrong on all of this, and this may be a really hard lesson to learn. But my point still stands. That's the goal, okay? So over here on the right, I put a little screenshot of their trading rules. The minimum payout request for a zero account is $200, but the maximum for a 50K is $1,500, and the maximum for a 100K is $3,000. So once again, with the 50Ks, if we can only get once per month, we're looking at $3,500. If we can get 2 a month, that's $7,000. The 100Ks, $9,000 a month. If we can get twice per month, 2 full allocation payouts, that's about $18,000 a month, which that would actually hit our goal. But like I said, we're just going to assume we can only get once per month. This final 1,000 can be done through just about any prop firm of our choosing. Once we get closer to being able to achieve that, we will focus more heavily on looking into which prop firm will perfectly suit our specific needs based on our current trading. Until then, we will focus primarily on alpha futures. I said this just because I don't want to add a whole bunch of different prop firms to the mix, especially when you kind of start to need Trade Syncer and, Trade Copium and different stuff like that, or whatever that thing is called, I don't know. The Trade Syncers, Once we start needing those, it gets a little bit more expensive. There's more capital involved, which isn't a big deal, but I'm really not really interested in making it more complicated than it has to be right now when I can just stick to one firm, one platform, which right now I am trading on Project X. We'll see how that goes. But there's no point in overcomplicating it until we absolutely have to. And I do believe that if we are maxed out at 300Ks, getting max allocation payouts as often as we can, there is necessity to move forward to whatever I need to do to start adding more accounts. But at the moment, this is the goal. This is my hope for the next couple months. I'm hoping to achieve this sometime by summer, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. I really do think it is, especially if we just stick to our strategy and I actually stick to my rules. I think this is more than doable. I think this is extremely realistic, and I'm beyond excited for, just what this can mean. So yeah, like I said, I just wanted to put this out there. I wanted to actually just showcase what my idea was as to how I'm going to achieve this, because it is necessary that you actually do have a goal. You actually have a plan to achieve it. So this is my plan. Like I said, I'm going to have Diego's Instagram linked in the bio. I don't want to just completely steal his idea, so definitely give him credit. And like I said, the name, I know it's corny, but it's my name. So Power of 7 strategy, that's what we're going to go with. That's how we're going to do it. Like I said, I didn't trade today, but I definitely wanted to after seeing so many people, take really good trades. But it is what it is. So once again, that's really all. I really appreciate you guys watching this far if you did make it this far. Once again, I'm going to try and keep you guys posted on my YouTube about what's going on, how I'm trading, how I'm doing different trades. We should be back tomorrow. I don't think we have news tomorrow, so it may be a slow day. But nonetheless, we'll probably still trade it. We'll post an update tomorrow on the account just to, if we do make a trade. And I am going to try and start posting more on my Instagram. I just made the Instagram. I haven't posted yet. I'm a wee bit, not nervous to, but hesitant to. I don't know how much content I'm going to be able to generate on there, but yeah, go give it a follow. I'll have it linked in the bio. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace.